it worked. Son of a bitch. It worked. So it was literally just a problem from yesterday. Son of a bitch. There we are. We're live now. I'm gonna be setting up for a little bit, so. Pin message. Boom. Trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Your boy's got a haircut too. Morning, Chris. Morning, Emmer. Let's see. Why is it focused? It's focused on the dogs. There we go. We're back. Let me just pull up. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's see. Skip. Hoofa. 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 Have we turned the corner on Apple? Don't know. Let's see. We're going to go over a couple of gold stocks. I actually asked Mike had a good question. Nathaniel lost today. Just finished up today's podcast a bit late.
You mentioned the most of the stocks which turned 5K into 1 million wouldn't do it again. I'm curious which stocks you think that could do it today. So, yeah, it's the douche special. It's because the bangs just don't go. I mean, it's literally a bowl cut. But morning, Jacob. I actually did go to a hairstylist. Great clips. And a coupon. Morning, Scott. But for paid members today, we're going to go through two things. Commodities, just it's what's working. If you look at commodities year to date, they are up versus the market, which is down. So commodities are working. And when Mike asked the question, what do you think? I asked AI what stocks today could hit $1 million. And it came up with quite a good thing. No, I mean, there's nothing to go over, Scott. Honest to God, I'd go over Credo if there was something. Oh, not P. Credo. If there was something different, there's nothing different other than the stock price. I mean, Wall Street, 12 analysts that cover it. They think it's an $80 stock. The quant, it's been a strong buy forever. Profitability is still the same. There is nothing. The Analyze with AI has come out, let's see, generated on 317. It was generated on or before 313. So it goes over everything that you need. I don't think there's anything that you necessarily want. The chart doesn't look great. Algorithm got you in at 47.16, but I'm going to add more. So I don't think there's much to go over. Yeah, Ray, but gold has been great. Honestly, if you saw behind my head, by the way, behind my head on the screen, there is an alert for NEM. Just so you know, I own NEM, and that was one of the paid members that I gave it a while ago. So hopefully paid members are enjoying this run because we're getting ready for another leg up, I believe. So I'll be going over that. Oh, I didn't even know. I mean, honest to God, Scott, you know more than I do. So remember, Credo is, I think it's a top 2025 stock. So I'm buying and holding. I mean, I'm not looking at specifics on a daily basis on this. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of insider sales. So even at $41, $40. So it's a lot. I mean, kudos, Scott. You know more than I do. But what's the strategy there, Scott? Asking me to go over it kind of asks, okay, I'm a little nervous. I'm not nervous with it because, and it kind of goes into, there's a lot, I was listening to the All In podcast this weekend, and they had a comedian on, Andrew, I forget his last name, but he was going over, how did these guys get rich? And Chamath and the other guys on there, they're super, super wealthy. I mean, Chamath's a billionaire. And they said, in order to actually understand risk tolerance, you have to lose 40 to 50% of your net worth and be able to look at yourself in a different light and understand that it's going to come back and understand that you did it once, you can do it again, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just haven't gone over Credo, Scott. But my point is, I don't know that I'm at the same guy that bought Apple because I'm a different age and bought Amazon and bought those risky ones back in 2000 and then doubled down in 2008 when I rebalanced my portfolio. I don't know that I'm the same guy, and it scares the hell out of me sometimes. But that podcast was actually pretty good. They went over, and I don't listen to rich people just because they're rich, but I think there is some advice, and I hate Chamath. I'm not a fan. But I think they've got some good, logical advice to give. But Credo for me is still, I bought at 70. I will buy at 47. I don't think that anything has, it's one of the 3 chip stocks that I own. The 3 are NVIDIA, Broadcom, and Credo. And I think each one has a different reason to buy. So yeah, it's hyperscaler concentration is Amazon, I believe, if I remember right. What's the number 1 out of 67? Taiwan Semi. And Taiwan Semi under $200 is a freaking steal. Just look at that. I should have owned that one, to be honest with you. I own CLS and I own AppLovin. But the CLS I own a lot of, and I own it significantly higher than this. Honestly, God, I probably should take CLS and just put it into Taiwan Semi at that price. But AppLovin, same thing. Again, when this turns around, this is Friday, March 14th, strong sell. It's just, this is going to be hard to kind of stomach if you've loaded up on these stocks. I would dollar cost average, but again, that's kind of my thing. Except Nathaniel, Nathaniel, it's Taiwan Semi. I don't think there's it's just like you own, there's no special taxes. Not that I know of. I've owned it in the past and I haven't done anything special. So, it's a US based stock, but ask, if you're worried about it, ask that. But CLS and AppLovin, if you have good stuff, good companies, I can't imagine. Not owning stuff like that. It's good company. So, okay, let's see. We're going to go over, I've been recommending Tesla with the robotics, but this shocked the hell out of me. That shocked the hell out of me. That's a Chinese, I'll put that on. Tesla, we're just going to go over the Tesla stuff, and Gene Munster puts it perfectly. Quantum stocks, ARKit leads quantum computing stocks ahead of GTC event. It looks like it's a sell the event news because maybe it looks like we're heading up, but I don't know. It's going to be a coin flip. Which beaten down stocks have the best chance for a quick rebound? Of course, we're going to talk about NVIDIA. Berkshire hit a new all-time high yesterday, and it was pretty clear. It also is the top large cap quant stock, so we'll take a look at that. We're going to look at the alpha pick from yesterday because it's clear you could make money just scalping freaking alpha picks, on the 1 minute chart and earn the subscription fee back. Building a simple SPY weekly strategy with breakout. This is an this is long price breaks and closes prior week's high. This is just a long strategy. So past 10 years, 80% return, 53% win rate. So if you're worried, that's a good one to do. I actually wrote yesterday, I thought it was a great, here, I'm going to turn off closed captions. A great 10 prompts to turn your AI into a Wall Street analyst. And it, you know, listen, it is what it is, but yeah, China, I mean, Elon, and I saw Elon's post last night about China with Ted Cruz and some other douchebag politician. What's interesting to me, Chris, is Elon has a stake in China. And if they move on Taiwan, and he's an American citizen with Tesla in China, and then all of a sudden there's issues. I don't know how he does that dance. I mean, there's no way you can do that dance. He's heavily tied to China. So, and he's in the Trump White House. I mean, there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack, but with conflicts, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to hit start record. It's 8:49. Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 18th. It is NVIDIA GTC day, and tomorrow we have the Fed meeting today. We have the announcement tomorrow. We have the quantum day on Thursday. It's a big week. We've got a ton of catalysts today. I still am not super positive about the economy. Well, not the economy, about the market. We can look up the fear and greed index if you'd like, because we're in extreme fear. I mean, we've come up a little bit. So is this the market turnaround? I don't know. You know, right now, the 4-hour algorithm got you in at 478. 478 yesterday on QQQ. We can go and look at VOO. That's the S&P 500. Did it get you in yesterday? Yup, 517. Has this turned around? Again, the 4-hour algorithm, that is how I judge my entries. So I'll be buying more. You know, it's not going to be, I'm not going in balls deep on this one, but you can see the MACD on the VOO. It's 8, almost 9 points below the oscillator. The last time this happened was August 5th. Okay, the time before that was April 22nd of last year. Both of those were great buys. Great buys. So I'm going to buy the bottom, the dip on this one. I am. This one I don't feel comfortable about because I said it yesterday. Bessent wants us to go down. Trump wants us to go down. There will be some type of little blip, little tweet that comes out about tariffs, and he's going to take us down. So I don't trust it, but I'm still buying. And that's the point. For long term, I'm still buying. I think your time frame matters. Yesterday, for the paid newsletter subscribers, I gave you 10 prompts to turn AI into your own personal Wall Street analyst and a video showing you what it does. Okay, 10 prompts. Again, these are free tools that you can use. So if you have my paid newsletter, you can just go on there and do it. Full disclosure, I got these from Twitter. It wasn't like I made these up. I played with them for a week. I liked them. I chose Perplexity. The person that created these prompts, they chose Grok. It is just about getting comfortable with AI. And Ed Corona asked me, you know, what's the difference between this and scans with Trendspider and Thinkorswim? The reality of AI is get comfortable with it, because in the very near future, I would predict within the next year, I will be waking up in the morning and asking an AI assistant, what's my game plan for today? Ed has already trained his AI on his strategy. He is using it to make choices on options right now and give him win percentages. I have not done that, but I guarantee you there is a point in time coming up with AI where I will literally wake up in the morning and it will know my 4-hour algorithm in Trendspider. It will know my portfolio. It will know my risk tolerance. It will know what I like to trade in, what I like to invest in. And it will say, you want to look at this. So get comfortable with AI. And that's the point, is there's a lot of people who aren't using this stuff today. Get comfortable with it. And honestly, it's funny because, I talk about Trendspider, being on sale. I talk about the premium and alpha picks bundle. I talk about all this stuff. I get so much larger, a much significantly larger response from people writing to me, from listens on Spotify, from people signing up for the tools, signing up for my newsletter, significantly larger during bull markets, okay? Which just shocks me. Because while I'm not doing a lot of changes to my portfolio during bear markets, I am selling at the highs. Again, my newsletter, the top reasons when to sell, 52-week high, all-time highs. You want to start trimming. You want to do that stuff like that. But if you're not listening, if you're not looking at a bear market and you're just kind of like, oh my God, let me turn away, you're not setting yourself up for success. You have to understand where the stocks in your portfolio are. Choose your fighter. This market is a choose your fighter. And for me, I want something that protects me from the downside. That was the whole impetus for the 4-hour algorithm. Was I retired in January of 2020, and I sat through COVID, that 4 weeks where I lost 40, almost 50% of my entire net worth after retiring. That hurt. Okay, I was 49 years old going into 50, and I retired, and I lost all that money. So what did I do? I picked up Trendspider. I didn't know anything about, I had used charts. I had used, Active Trader Pro. I had used Thinkorswim. I had used charts before. I had not traded technically. I picked it up. It took me 6 to 8 months. That's why I'm not a big fan of these 2-week trials, even though if you don't know technicals, don't go in and just buy Trendspider, okay? Go and get a free charting tool. Go and learn technicals. Take a weekend. It's not hard. Look up MACD. Look up Bollinger Bands. Look up RSI. Look up candlesticks. Understand how moving averages affect the price. Go and study. Take the largest position in your portfolio and go and look at a daily, a weekly, a monthly, and a quarterly chart. Okay. And if you want 5 minutes, this is the 4-hour. Okay. It works. And what these charts do, they perform like a ballet. It's all scripted. It's all mathematical, and they perform like that. So the 4-hour algorithm, it's technical. It's not fundamental. It's not saying, hey, is the PE of the QQQ high? No, it's not. And so that's why I like this, is because it takes emotion out of my trades, out of my positions. And it says, you know what? I don't feel comfortable adding it at 478 because I think we have more downside. But am I going to do it? Absolutely, I'm going to do it. And the reason I'm going to do it is because the candlesticks have no emotions, none. You take a look at a weekly, and we've come down to the almost just 1 point above the oscillator on QQQ. Okay, you take a look at a monthly chart of QQQ, and you'd be saying, run for the hills, because we still haven't had the MACD cross down. So understand how these charts work. And if you want a 2-week trial, go and get a 2-week trial, and you can get a one-on-one training so that they can show you all that Trendspider has to offer. Go over to my link tree, linktr.ee/dailystockpick. It's the second link right there, and you can get it. Here's one of the things that you can do. You can import this into your Trendspider setup. Building a simple SPY weekly strategy with the breakout and fake out candle indicator. Okay, what this does is it colorizes the breakout and fake out. Advanced candle breakout. Long entry, price breaks and closes above the prior week's high. Exit, price breaks and closes below the prior week's low. Again, this is a strategy. Go back the past 10 years. You get 80% return with a 53% win rate. This protects you. And that's the thing. Try it for 2 weeks. Import all of this stuff. Go and get it. Honestly, I don't understand why people just tune out during bear markets. This is the time to try and protect yourself. I think it's Paul Tudor Jones. It's not about the money that you bring in. It's not about your gains. It's about protecting your downside. I am horrible at protecting that downside. That's why you don't listen to a douche on the internet. But I've got a strategy that has worked for me. It may not be a strategy that works for you. That's why I want you to sign up. Okay? Now let's talk about another strategy that may work. Tax loss harvesting. This is brought up at the end of the year every year. I don't know why, but the reality of tax loss harvesting is we've gone into this downturn, and you've seen this since February. Okay, it's February 20th. It is now March 18th. Are we going to have a V-shape back up? No. But in my mind, if you've got losses and we're starting to see a turnaround, some of those stocks may not come back. A stock like AppLovin is probably going to come back. A stock like Credo is probably going to come back. But some of these stocks may not come back. And if you have like a SOXL on the chips and you've lost on it, sell that for a loss, go and buy a similar ETF, and you're not in a wash sale, and you get to write off those losses. Tax loss harvesting is a strategy, and it's not just for the end of the year, it's during these downturns. Okay? Take advantage of the losses, write them off against gains, hold off on buying that exact stock for 30 days, because you don't want a wash sale. You could have a wash sale. Again, it just confuses taxes. So I typically will hold off for 30 days. It's not just at the end of the year. But this strategy may help you. Again, it's a weekly strategy, and they backtest it for 10 years, and it works. Now, here are the 12 times the S&P moved 10% off its all-time highs and what happened after the day it moved into a correction, which means 10%, but didn't go into a bear market. While it's interesting, what is interesting is 5 of the 12 bottomed the day it went into a correction. Higher a year later, 12 out of 12 times. The point, buy and hold. You want to add to your positions while it's down. And it's not every stock. We'll go over Tesla here in a little bit. It's not Tesla. I think you've got still a few weeks on Tesla before you bottom out. And I think you bottom out under 200. But again, you want to go into this understanding that I don't think this is a systemic problem in the economy. I think it's a tariff problem. And I think right now, it's just the administration being very wishy-washy and not being clear. So no company can give you a guidance. You're seeing American, Delta and all the airlines come out because the consumer's starting to become weak. Okay? Berkshire Hathaway has completely defied this market. Never bet against Buffett. This is a weekly chart of Berkshire Hathaway. And ironically, if you go over to Seeking Alpha and you scroll down, what's the top stock, quant stock in the S&P 500 right now? It's Berkshire. And it's been a quant strong buy for a very long time. You go back 3 years, and at 219, it was a strong buy. It's got hold in there. You can look at the categories and the ratings over its history. And it's got some problems with the revision sometimes, and it's got some problems with the valuation. And that's it. That's it. But if you can get this under 500, you get it under 500. Again, this is a great stock. Find a strategy that works. Right here, Berkshire's resilience during the market correction is impressive. Buffett's long-term strategy and value investing approach, we can go over and we can look at Berkshire. Let's chart it against the S&P. Okay, over 1 year, look at where it broke out, 221. That's a month ago. Look at Berkshire in the orange and then the S&P in the blue. Let's go 3 years. Look, it just diverged. Will it come back? Absolutely, it should come back. Either the S&P is going to go up or Berkshire is going to come down. Or maybe both. Maybe both. You can look at the 10-year. Look at how Berkshire's outperforming the S&P. You want to own this is one ETF that you want to own. We can let's add in QQQ because QQQ beats it out as well. You can look at this one. QQQ, look, it beats out Berkshire over 10 years. Over 5 years, you can see Berkshire caught up. QQQ has dipped down. Over 3 years, again, it's dipped down. QQQ was going so well and it dipped down. So Berkshire's one that you want to hold. That's why it's in the core portfolio. I just added that one in the core portfolio just like last quarter or something too. It is one that I started picking up under $500. And do I think that 523 is a decent price for it? I think it's a good price. Again, it's not valued crazily. Its growth is perfectly fine. Could you get it at a better price? Absolutely. Look, it's at its 52-week high. Get it when it dips down. But again, that's a great, great stock. Now, the alpha pick yesterday, let me just go into it. I won't go into it on alpha, seeking alpha, but I guess if I just bring up the chart, there is a way. And remember, alpha picks is a curated portfolio, a data-driven portfolio. You can get it in the bundle, okay? It's normally $4.99. If you use my link tree, you can get it for $4.49, I believe, $50 off. But I suggest you get this bundle because it includes premium and alpha picks. But if you just wanted alpha picks, okay, let's go over a strategy for alpha picks. Mine is buy and hold. I buy it when they tell me to. I didn't buy yesterday's, and I'll go into why I didn't buy yesterday's. But it's ARQT, and I'm not supposed to bring it up. But let's just say it's a portfolio that I follow, and you want to do this, okay? Let's look at a 1-minute chart, because what I want to show you is the ability to scalp something like this. And I have set this up for several times, and I was getting my hair cut yesterday, so I couldn't do this. But this candle right here, we're going to go into this candle, okay? It's a 1-minute candle, so it's very, very fast. But this is the 12-minute candle, and it was announced at 12 o'clock. So if you're on Seeking Alpha, if you're waiting for your email, set a reminder for next on the 1st of April, and it's going to be April Fool's. Maybe they're going to April Fool's you. I don't know. But set a reminder for April 1st at 12 o'clock to go to Seeking Alpha and your Alpha Picks portfolio, okay? Because at that point in time, you will see this particular pop. And this one, it opened up at $14.96. The candle before, it was at $14.96. It opened up at $14.96. The high, $15.72. That's $1. That's a big move. Okay? The next minute, you went from $15.62 up to $16.86. 7% move. Okay? Then you went up to the high of $17.16. But what I want to point out is trading with confirmation. And I use the 9-day EMA. And if you don't know what that is, go to my newsletter. Just type in confirmation. You can look at it because I've got several newsletters on confirmation, including videos. But I use the 9-day EMA. And that 9-day EMA, even if you bought here at 17.16, okay, that 9-day EMA, you lost confirmation at 17.22. Simple as that. And yesterday's high was 17.70. Now, it settled back in. That's why I didn't want to buy it when it was announced yesterday. And the reason why I'm not buying it right now is because the company doesn't make money. And they kind of broke their rule a little bit. It's a rule-based portfolio. But again, the company doesn't make money. Now, the 4-hour algorithm, it got you in at 13.24. Okay, the 4-hour algorithm, look at the performance. 277% versus buy and hold has made you 26% over the last 24 months. You win 58% of the time. I want to get it when it's close to this 9-day on the 4-hour. Okay, I don't want to buy this huge candlestick of 15%. I don't want to buy this one. I've been burned before. I have it on a watch list and I will buy it. But I just didn't want to do it during yesterday's pop. I was getting my hair cut. I came back. And now remember, okay, say you have $100,000 in this Alpha Picks portfolio. I have 6 figures into this portfolio, but $100,000, nice, easy, round number. How much would I be buying of ARQT? $100,000 in the portfolio. I'm going to buy 1%. So it's going to be $1,000. If I've got $100,000 and I pay 10% more for a stock, okay, I was saying it yesterday. 15-year-old Gary would not let me do this because I didn't have $100,000. 54-year-old Gary, he's buying $1,000 of this stock and not even looking back. But again, it's 1% of your portfolio. So even if it goes down to zero, which is not likely, it's not likely at all. But even if this one were to go down to zero, then you would lose $1,000 of that $100,000. Their Alpha Picks portfolio, it is a significant gain. And we can go over some of them that are big winners. AppLovin, I don't know if I marked when they got into AppLovin. This is one. Let me see if I marked it. No, not on the weekly. I think you got in around $100 or something. You went all the way up to $400. Or, I'm sorry, $525. And you're trading at 306. This is one that I would be, I want to buy more of this. So again, make sure you have a strategy. We got the pick yesterday and it popped up. That strategy of just doing the 1-minute candles, that can pay you for your entire subscription. So I like it. I like it a lot. Now, it is NVIDIA. We're going to go over an NVIDIA chart. I don't have a news story for NVIDIA because I included it yesterday. And if you want to know what to expect from GTC Day, which is today, we're going to get the keynote from Jensen Huang. And you're going to have Jensen Huang all over CNBC tonight because Jim Cramer is out there covering this. Now, NVIDIA, it was a buy at 116. Yesterday it was down. Today it's down a little bit. It's at 118. Is this a sell buy the news, sell the event kind of thing? Sometimes that has happened with NVIDIA. But I have a feeling Jensen's got something in his pocket. So am I buying right now? No, I've got a large enough position. My algorithm got me in at 116. I'm also in at 130. I'm in at 136. I'm in at 127. I'm in at 140. Okay? But as we get to that 140, my position, and I've seen this many times, okay, look at that. That goes all the way back to June of 2024. It traded at 140. It hasn't been able to get over it. Now, at some point in time, this does become support. I believe that this will become support. NVIDIA, too good a company to actually do it. But I read yesterday that a Mac Studio with the M3 Ultra chip, I believe, runs DeepSeek locally. That's huge. Okay, it's 20%. I think it's 20% more efficient from an electric standpoint than any other PC that could run DeepSeek models. So again, Apple, NVIDIA, Apple's got a chip business. Guess who they make their chips with? Broadcom. I have Broadcom. I own it. I own Apple. So again, NVIDIA GTC Day is just about hype. If we get some news on Blackwell, because remember, Blackwell changes the data center, and that's the transformation model. So I like NVIDIA. I like to buy and hold it. But I like to add during the 4-hour algorithm. So again, it gets you in at 116. You're trading at 118. You have a chance to buy this down at the price that it was when the algorithm told you to get in. But on a weekly, I think you're buying for that 140. And when you get to that 140, you start trimming. Unless you don't have a position. You need to build up a position. So, I like this one. I like this one a lot. I own 3 chip companies. I own Credo, I own NVIDIA, and I own Broadcom. That's it. Now, talking about beating down stocks, the best chance for a quick rebound. Here's a list of 10 stocks. I think it's 10 stocks. Every one of these, I own almost half of them. Go and look at them. 1, Netflix. I own Netflix. I love Netflix. I think Netflix gets to 1,000. Algorithm got you in at 896. Okay, they have their earnings coming up April 17th. Netflix on the last one, it gapped up. I like this one. I like it a lot. NFL, I just got done watching Full Swing. Loved it. Wells Fargo. This one is a pullback with Bank of America and all the financials. Algorithm got you in at 70. Let's talk about the 4-hour performance. This one, you make over the last 24 months, 80%. Buy and hold makes you 60%. I'd be perfectly happy. But you know what? If I can win 57% of the time with an average win of 7%, I'm taking it. $70.65, buy me in. Okay, there's just two. Go and find other ones. Read this article. Uber, Taiwan Semi, Morgan Stanley, go and read it. Okay? Arkit leads quantum stocks, computing stocks higher ahead of NVIDIA's GTC event. This is all about quantum stocks. Remember, we have GTC today, and then you have a quantum day on Thursday. Okay, this GTC event is running from March 17th to 21st. On Thursday, the company will host a session called Quantum Computing, where we are and where we're headed. NVIDIA's founder and CEO, Jensen Huang, will host industry leaders like D-Wave, IONQ, and Rigetti. I can't point this out. I think it's a long-term buy and hold. Now, let's talk about Tesla, because this one's interesting. I had told, last week I had said, hey, I think this one, 4-hour algorithm performs really well. It makes you 140% versus 31%. I didn't trust this 248 buy. Okay, I didn't trust it. It was after I got off the air and I said, I'm going to buy this on the 4-hour algorithm. And then I thought about it and I was like, I was just at the dealership and I'm not sure that I actually like this buy. And so I decided not to buy it. And it was mainly because the 5-minute candles, I didn't like the way these things worked on the 13th. And if you look at the 13th, again, if you look at the 13th on a 5-minute candle, it just looked weak and it popped back up the next day. And I was like, maybe I made a mistake. But then I just didn't see the, by the time I bought it, it would have filled this gap. And I was like, there's gaps all the way above. Is it a good long-term buy and hold? I do think so. And again, I think so. But I didn't feel comfortable buying it. But I did buy it, for long-term buy and hold. This is part of, well, let's talk about the car company first, because the car company is what it is. For the next 12 trading days, Tesla investors may want to keep their seatbelts fastened as consensus over March deliveries will likely dominate the stock's narrative. This is a car company right now. So if you're buying this right now, you're not buying it as a car company, but understand over the next 12 days, it's going to be effing bumpy. Most investors expect March deliveries to fall below expectations, so that's priced into the stock. The street consensus stands at 422, up 9% year over year. But the whisper number is at 375. That's down 3% year over year. That's a big difference between gaining and losing deliveries. Gene Munster believes the deliveries will decline by more than 3%. That could tumble the stock. Remember, the whisper number of 3% lower is in the stock. Anything more is going to get the sell-off. For full year 2025, the street now projects 1.97 million deliveries, reflecting 10% year-over-year growth. We talked about with Elon Musk. Well, I talked about it before I came on. I think Elon Musk, he's balancing China and Trump. China is his big one. They're giving a free 30-day trial of full self-driving in China in order to gain some data. But this is, the deliveries will be a bad one. The good news, once these numbers reset, I believe it will mark a near-term bottom for the stock as investors shift focus towards a new vehicle launch in early 2026 and a return to growth. Gene is optimistic, okay? He's optimistic. Now, when you look at a weekly chart on this one, is it beaten down? We're just at the oscillator, okay? It could go lower. And you saw last year how this one dipped under $200. If this gets under $200, I'm going to start buying, and I'm going to start buying rather large. Okay, but that's not without risk. Because the risk of this is that they don't turn into a robotics company. And Chris Camillo, who I believe is one of the guys that I follow as far as, hey, this is the direction of ones that could make you a lot of money. This was phenomenal. I'm going to play this, but I'm going to turn off the sound. This, and I'll post this. I posted this last night, I believe, but I think I retweeted it. But again, this is a Chinese robot. This is amazing. We're not seeing the Tesla humanoid robot do this. We're seeing it work in a factory. But this is human-like movement. And that's amazing. This dance sequence with a freaking robot. This isn't AI. This is an actual robot dancing. That's huge. That's huge. So I'm a little bit nervous about the investment, but I do believe that we see some pops. My mind is blown away by what I see on the screen with this dancing. Again, it's dancing. It's amazing. I don't know if it's manipulated. Most likely it's not. They say it is. But it's crazy how good this is. Now, strategy for Tesla is the 4-hour algorithm. I didn't feel comfortable buying this. You win 42% of the time. That's why I was a little bit hesitant. I knew deliveries were coming up. I was at the Tesla dealership. I didn't like what I saw. They're still making money. They're still making cars. They're still delivering cars. Some of the political backlash, it's just about being in tune with the stocks that you own. And I am in tune with Tesla. And I still have major exposure through XLY, and I own this one outright. I think I own $1,000, maybe $500 of this stock. So it's not a big position of mine particularly, but I own a ton of XLY. And that is, we can go over and look at XLY. It's all Amazon, and it's Tesla. XLY, this is consumer discretionary, and it's one of the worst performing sectors. The quant has it as a sell. And when you look at the holdings, it's Amazon 21% and Tesla 12%. That's 33%. And it's a horrible, horrible ETF to own. We can look at the performance of this one. 1 year, it's up 10%. Year to date, it's down 12%. We didn't even look at it here. It's in the core portfolio. I have XLY and XLK in the core portfolio. Today, XLY gets you a buy. I don't think it's a bad buy. I just think you might have further downside with Tesla being such a large portion of this. So for paid members, I'm going to do a bonus podcast today for paid members. Again, Chris Camillo right there. For paid members, you got the AI yesterday. I'm going to do two things, okay? In the chat section today, Mike asked, yes, just finished up the podcast a bit late. I know you mentioned that most of the stocks which turned 5K into 1 million. Okay, that was this post from yesterday. Oh, let me just get out of there. That was this post from yesterday. I have to open with Chrome. This post from yesterday where it turned $5,000 into $1 million. What stocks? I'm curious. Which stocks do you think could do that today? I'm going to go over it in the paid newsletter section. I asked AI. Full disclosure. I asked AI. And I said, here's the stocks that are, turned $5,000 into 1 million. Can you tell me which ones today? And I'll give you the prompt that I used. And I'll give you the stocks. It brought up several that I found interesting. We'll go over those stocks. Okay. The other thing that I'm going to go over for the paid newsletter subscribers is if you go to market data, okay, and we go to commodities. Let's just go down to commodities because this was interesting to me that I looked. Okay, we can go to commodities and we can look at, let's see, key market data. Where was the commodities one? Commodities right there. Okay, let's go to year to date. Natural gas up 26%. Silver's up 17%. Gold up 14%. Soybeans and oil are the only ones that are negative year to date. And you go up here, S&P down 3%, Dow Jones down 1%, NASDAQ down 5%, mid cap 4%, small cap 7%, micro down 10% year to date. Okay? So I found it interesting. I'm going to take a look at it because I found two names in gold. A couple of gold, one that just moved, had a strong move yesterday, up 9%. still got 10% to its Wall Street price target. So, and we'll look at a couple of other ones that I brought up. Paid members know that I've got a couple of gold. So that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow. Remember, Jim Cramer has Jensen Huang on tonight. So I expect some big things, some big movement in that stock over the next few days. Okay, take care. See you. Bye. Morning, Scott. I don't know why my volume's so low compared to every other podcast. Is it low? I optimize it. I don't know. I played it in my Tesla and it doesn't seem so low. I'll look at it again. I usually, just so you know, Lawrence, when I record, I don't go into the red. I try and stick to just the yellow portion. And so I think a lot of those podcasts, they push their volume to the bottom of the red so it doesn't overthink. The other thing is, I have a Blue Yeti mic. I don't have the Shure SMB. I've thought about getting this Shure SMB, but I don't have it. So, morning, Mark. But I don't know why my podcast is lower. The other thing is, remember, most of these other podcasts, these douches have teams that edit for them. I mean, I got an email from Spotfiy that they keep asking for my team. They're like, hey, can you tell us, give us some context with your team? We have some things to discuss about your podcast. I don't have a team. It's me. So I think those other podcasts. Okay. So it's literally just me. It's nothing more than me. We're gonna put that in, and we're gonna do green screen. And I'm looking at the volume. It's auto at 100%. So I don't know. Export file. 318 pod. Okay. It's 9:30. I'm gonna get going and do the paid newsletter subscriber. The market just looks shitty. I mean, it just looks shitty. Again, you've had 2 days up in a row. I'll buy more QQ. It's down 1% today. I'll buy more. I didn't buy it. It's 478. I probably should have, but I wanted to see a couple of days. And we've seen a couple of green days. So I'll buy more. I don't know why my volume. Now you got me wondering why my volume's so low. Hold on. Let's see. I'll close that out. Let me see if I can do. I'm in Spotfiy for creators. Podcast. Let's see. I think I can play here. Let me just listen. Oh, you know what? I'm going to listen. I'm not going to listen there. I'm going to turn on. Let's see. Let's go into Spotfiy. Because I will play your library. Let's go to podcasts. Spike's Car Radio. He's got great audio.
Good news. You've just found a 24 25-year-old E39 with 600. Let me set the tables under it if I can.
It's got great audio.
A guest here who I will introduce momentarily.
Okay, now let's go to mine.
It was what, maybe 6 months ago that I was having my BM in green. So we've got, you know,
It seems about the same, Lawrence.
in the market today. I don't know if we will. The futures have been playing around a little bit.
Seems about the same.
Here's the chart. I mean, this is the BMW awakening, driving many of your beautiful cars, right? And in that,
I don't think it's low.
that awakening, I drove your.
I mean, that's just a general kind of look. By the way, Miss MK, I sent my mom Coles.
Yeah.
And she sent it. I sent her the Ladyboy clip.
Oh.
She's confused.
She must be.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Okay. Yeah, Bob, I'm kind of the same way. Lawrence, I don't know why it's low compared to other. Spike's audio is great. He's a writer for Seinfeld. He was a writer for Seinfeld. And I like he talks about cars and stuff, but Q's open up 0.7% down. So, okay, I am going to go do the paid newsletter. So, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you guys.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts